I wasn't ready just yet, but good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 6th, 2025 Edmondson Heights Civic Association community meeting. I'm glad to see, Um, got some faces that I needed to see tonight. Yes, there's a lot. As I just said, gonna start on time so that we can end on time. And I have no idea what's for dinner, so I gotta stop before everything closes. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We had a very interesting weekend. Well, we had a very interesting weekend. This weekend was our community dumpster day. It bombed a little bit. We collected dues. I think the total that I saw, we collected over $400 in dues on that day. Does not mean that we carry cash. It means that we carry dues. Um, I wanted to, before we get started, I wanted to thank wait a minute. I wanted to thank we have a few people who may be new. I met a few people this weekend and told them I would add you to this list so you can join our meeting. So whether you are joining us um, live or whether you're catching us again on our Zoom replay, I want to welcome you to old and new residents. Um, I want to also take a moment to thank our board member, our ex-board member, Sharon Davis, for all of her years of service to the board. She made the decision to step down and step away from duties, maybe for a little while. Maybe she'll be back. I'm not sure, but we do want to thank her for her years, many years of service and commitment to the neighborhood in Granville Road. Um, also wanted to, no, I'll come back to that one. Um, I'll come back to that one. When I mentioned that um, we collected dues this past weekend. Um, yeah, we collected about 400. However, people did receive receipts on the spot. The receipts that they did not receive, they will receive. We are trying to get those out. It's a little bit slower than we hoped, or I hoped. Mine are out a little bit slower. But we are taking care and making sure everyone gets receipts. And we hope that you um, keep those for your files because who knows what the future holds as far as data taken on this end. But I just want you to do what needs to be done and CYA. Um, the next thing after, well, we have um, our May happenings. Of course, everyone knows that we have our Be Green um, work that we do, and we have a community walk coming up next, the 17th of May. And it's just, we're starting at the park. We want everyone to see what we're asking of you. This is what we're working with, and we'd like your opinion on what you think can be done with this, how you'd like to see it, how would you like to see it managed. And we are starting at Granville, between Granville and Forest Park Road, and we'll go around and come back to the side of Forest Park, and we'll see you in the median on Harwell. If you only want to join us at the park, or you only want to join us at the median on Harwell, we'll also be going to the what we call the Triangle area up the street on Forest Park in Newfield. I really hope to see a lot of Newfield people show up for this because you all are loud, and I want you to be loud when it's time, and this is time to be loud. Um, I will say that really, just to be honest, y'all. because I'm really anxious about this. I'm gonna put our delegate on the spot because this is it redistricting we're discussing, Delegate Ruth?
So I'm not really an expert in the redistricting, but we are in the process of redistricting, and it is important to make sure that your voices are heard in that. Do you want me to just give like a brief overview?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so I haven't really been directly involved in that because we just got out of our legislative session a few weeks ago. But you all may remember that on the ballot we passed expanding the county council from 7 to 9 districts, and so there was a map that was attached to that, um, but that was sort of an interim map to make sure that we had one because we have not have 9 districts, we have to have a map of where those districts are. So now the county council is going through a process of redistricting. They have a redistricting commission, which is looking at the districts and making recommendations and having some public hearings, you know, to draw the new map, which the county council will ultimately vote on. And so it's really important that your voices are heard, to make sure that the districts are equitable and fair, to make sure they're not dividing communities in ways that you don't want them divided. We want to make sure that it comes out the way you want it to come out. So I can post, let me see. Sorry for, I wasn't really prepared to talk about this one, but
I wasn't until 5 minutes ago, I promise.
let me
Thought
see.
about it. I will
So,
say what I think I know. What I've heard is that Edmondson Heights is affected in the redistricting, and we will no longer be a part of District 1, but a part of District 2. And that will be us and Liberty Heights and I think, yeah, this side of Ingleside, as in the other side of Ingleside would be towards Rolling Road. This is my understanding, and I just looked at a map of it, and I thought that that would leave us in a really small area, but that the area that it would put us in is fairly large. I don't know what that does for us. Whether that's good for us, I don't know what we want.
right. So, one of the things that we want to make sure is that we increase the diversity of the council because right now there is one majority Black district. That's District 4, which is represented by Councilman Julian Jones. And so there are several potential maps that have been put forth. Uh, I don't remember what the official redistricting map looks like, but you know, Baltimore County is, I believe, 30% Black at this point. So, you know, by we want to make sure that the council represents the Baltimore County as it looks today. And so the way those districts are divided up has, influences how the council will look. And I'm apologize that I am not an expert on the maps that have been put forward. But I do see that there is a Councilmanic Redistricting Commission meeting tomorrow night that's virtual at 6 p.m. So that's one, and I can post that link in the chat. That's one thing
Okay.
that you could do. And I don't know if anybody else on here is more of an expert on the maps that might want to.
Okay, this is the same map I pulled up. We have Fatima who is from Delegate
McCaskill.
McCaskill's office, and she dropped the map in the link if anyone is interested in it. And I think my computer's saying you already have this up. Thank you, Fatima. And yeah, it's gonna put us, it looks like we would have different representation we just kind of have to start over. Like it's like graduating to middle school from elementary school. Like we have no idea what to expect or
So,
what's going on.
but let me just add,
Yes.
in terms of having different representation. First of all, this is for the council districts only. Um, And I think that you would have different representation anyway, because Pat Young is currently your councilman and he's running for county executive. So there will be a new councilman. You will have a new councilman no matter what. Two of the other councilmen, Julian Jones and Izzy Patoka, are also running for county executive. So the council is going to look very different one way or the other after the next election.
Okay. Do I need to run for office? Do I need to run for anything? Because I mean,
Go for
I'm
it.
not ready. I'm not ready, but you could give me a couple more years. I could pull something together that looks like a candidate. Um,
Go for it.
as I
I
said
think
before, if I can't break anything, I'll do it. Um,
I think you'd be great.
thank you, but I think just Edmondson Heights alone is driving me bats. Love you, Edmondson Heights. Um, I am going to just kind of share my screen a little bit and show if no one else has kind of pulled it up. I'm going to share my screen and show you the map that we are discussing here because and it says share and map and share. Okay, it should be up any minute now. Sharing. Can anyone see the map?
It's there now.
Okay, there you go. Okay, right now we are today District 1. This is fun. We are District 1, but really this is like us here. Let me think. Yeah, this is us right here near 70, right before we get to 70, between 70 and 40. And if you look at this and see, this is the proposed redistricting map. This puts us here with two. Oh, and two goes along. Yeah, that's a lot. Um, my perception, my perception of what this means, and I think I just lost the
Jaquisa, I'm
thought.
on the line, and just in case, this is Margaret. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Margaret. I'll throw
I
this to
can't
you
get
in
into
just
Zoom for some reason, so I apologize. I'm going to be on the phone. I cannot get into the Zoom part, but I'm going to
okay,
mute me and just listen. Okay. All right.
okay, okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. What it looks like to me is if we are a part of a larger district, we don't have the numbers. We don't I think we're attractive as a community right now because we have a lot of numbers as in voters. We have over 1,000 properties here and each what maybe let's average two voters per household. So that's a lot of votes for someone who is looking to get numbers. If you see how yes ma'am, Delegate Ruth.
Thank you. I did just want to clarify that all of the districts should be roughly equal in terms of the number of population. That's one of the rules of redistricting. So even though it looks like a big district, I think that's because part of that spur that goes up to the left is not as densely populated, but it really should
Okay.
have the same number of people roughly as District 1. And because there are 9 districts and not 7, each district will have fewer people. So Edmondson Heights will be a bigger proportion of whatever district they end up in than you are now.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Sometimes you have to listen to who's telling you things. But okay, yeah, I got a call about this one day, and yeah, the crash course in it was yeah, I don't listen. Um, but yeah, this is so far what it looks like. And I will check into the meeting that is the virtual meeting that should be happening tomorrow. I don't know what today is, so I can't tell you that I'll attend. I will try. Yeah, it's in the chat, and everyone is welcome to join it if you would like. I will try, as I said, what is today. Um, Margaret, do you have anything on this that can be added?
Not at this time. I'll just make sure I continue to keep you guys keep you informed and send the information as they come in and ask that people just attend the hearings, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going
Okay,
back on mute.
all
All
right,
right.
back on me. Gotcha.
All right.
Um, back to my agenda, wherever I put it. Um, if you guys get the chance, I've just uploaded some, I mean, just for uploaded some pictures of the different flowers from spring in Edmondson Heights. I walked around and I just think it's beautiful. Um, so the redistricting was the biggest thing on my agenda, although it was the last thing on my agenda that I remember because I was discussing it. I think it was last week or something. So I do apologize for not bringing. I think I brought as much as I could. Um, and let's just kind of hold on and attend this virtual meeting if we can, just so that we can get more information and we can make make decisions and advocate for what is right for us. Um, so um here is where I say the newsletters are currently going out. Some of them have gone out. They have the invoice and envelope inserted inside. We had to stop for a minute because we had to stop for a minute. I don't remember why, but we stopped and in return just started sending out um postcards for the dumpster day this past weekend because it was really important to let neighbors know about that. It mentions dumpster day. Dumpster day is mentioned in the newsletter. So don't go to it when you see it. It has passed, and I'm sorry, but the newsletters were already printed. Um, this goes under things happen. I'm doing the best that I can. So with our dumpster day, yeah, it's just something. We had a snafu. There was some sort of communication issue, and our dumpsters did not arrive. But I would like to thank Margaret Stokes over there in West Edmondale, who allowed us to send our um our residents over there who were ready to dump. And I'll tell you, if nothing else, you guys like dumping. That's for sure. You show up to dump stuff. I'm not judging, but I just noticed. Kind of ornery about those dumpsters too. Well, Angela and I were also ornery because we could have used a little bit more sleep that morning. Um, Angela, I'm going to ask you to chime in, and it is our intention to I'm lost now. It is our intention, let us know if it's our intention to reschedule.
So it is our intention to reschedule. I'm waiting for the contractor to actually get back to me because of the I'm not going to say gap in communication. I don't know how the Edmondson and admin communities application got intertwined. So the dumpsters that were actually used for Margaret's community cleanup were actually meant for Edmondson Heights. So I'm not quite sure how the mishap happened, but it was. Um, so that was a confusion as far as I understood it from the actual contractor because I did reach out to them. So they were actually trying to um, find us a new date. They just wanted to confirm that we actually did not receive them, and just so happened that I actually took a video that I actually posted on our Facebook page, as just to update our neighbors that the dumpsters weren't there, and that's what they actually went by. So once we find out what the actual reasoning behind it was, we can reschedule. So I don't know if it's going to be sooner or later. I would hope it would be sooner than later, because if that's the case, it's going to run into the next fiscal year, and that's going to be a problem if we have to wait to get our applications in and start this ball rolling all over again. So for that, we do apologize for anyone that was actually that actually showed up looking for them, because we were actually there at 7. So I'm not quite sure where they got these two addresses mixed up, but it was um a huge undertaking with, just trying to, for one, trying to get them on the phone. There was no way for us to actually contact them. And would think that if they were actually working on that day, that they would be available for us to reach out. And that wasn't the case. So yeah, that was, a unfortunate for us, because that my understanding is once we actually get approved for it, the application goes in with the contractor. They will only service one community on your scheduled date. So how two communities got in with the same date during the same time is you know,
Yeah.
I don't know
Um,
where that communication gap fell at. So
if we can, I have the idea, which I should just talk just to you, but it's okay. If maybe um we can see if we can get shredding, just kind of as a sorry, y'all, this happened. I mean, but then, yeah, then the last time we had shredding, we had a fire. So
yeah, we really want to rethink that. It's not for the lack of trying. The actual contractor has been reaching out to me and wanted to know if we wanted to schedule an event. So that wasn't it wasn't a slight on us. So they still want to do business with us, So if that's something that you want to incorporate with the actual dumpsters, then by all means, yeah, both of them can go off. But what we do need to do is to stress, if we're doing it again, that the neighbors will have to allow the contractor to actually take whatever whatever they're shredding, for them to actually operate it and let them see what's inside of it, because we cannot have another fire with someone wanting to shred something other than paper. From my understanding, if you're bringing anything other than paper, it has to be verified by the contractor before, because I think that was one of the, at least two incidents where they wanted to actually put the things in themselves, and you can't do that because it's their equipment, and we don't want to cause another incident with a fire, to have for them to come out to put out a fire at our event that we're hosting. So that would be a thing that we would have to better communicate, that they only would bring things that are literally shreddable paper inside of the machine. So,
I had the idea once that we could have like a community bonfire.
but not like that.
Let's count that as one. Let's count that as it. Let's say we already did it. Um, yeah, it just we walk away with stories, guys. That's the best I can. We walk away with stories. Um, so that happened. Yeah, okay, got that, got that. Again, we thank you for everyone who came by and paid dues. The next thing we have coming up, I already discussed that, it's May 17th. First, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms and mom-ishes. I'm more of a mom-ish. I am a motherer. I don't know if that's gonna translate well, but but happy
Okay.
Mother's
We'll,
Day.
we'll take it. That's that. That's the
Okay,
role.
I'm a
Work with it.
motherer. So, um, the I wanna in a second get ready, Officer Vince Clark. I know you're eating popcorn. I see you. Get ready. Um, the after yeah, survey's gonna come after that. We'll send out a survey about what everyone else would like to, how you'd like to see the community kind of aesthetically look with our green spaces. There's that. One note that again, I didn't pass by the board, and Angela, if anyone knows a licensed handyman, can you send them my way? We want to try something. We have a lot of violations, and it. I'd like to offer an opportunity, a person who can help them with the violations. Because if I had violations, probably do, I wouldn't know where to start at fixing them. So if anyone knows, just somebody who wants some weekend work, or you know, I would appreciate it. And I'll talk to the board about it and tell you that they said no. But our violations. Once I'm done with the newsletters, the spring newsletters, and who knows about summer? I'll discuss summer later. Um, but once those are out, my next order of business is violations. Um, we've got blue porches, terracotta porches. They're not just gray anymore. And yes, I do understand that we will start to see where people say, well, hey, these people are doing it, why can't we? And my answer to that is because I said so. Um, so I've sent out notices, I've got to send out second notices. The next large spending, large to me, will be for an attorney. To pay an attorney to go through all of our paperwork and be prepared to help us litigate. Um, I I think the porches, the end of the summer is a good time to a good deadline for those porches. But this is where I am after the newsletters, and then I'll have to stop, and then I have to get back into the newsletters, and then I'll have to verify my information with the dues. It goes on, but I will be working on those violations. We are overdue, and there's some longtime residents who are not happy that I have not gotten to those. And I'm sorry, but um is what it is. I'm sorry. But yeah, because I said so is the answer to why you can't have a gray porch, a blue porch, aquamarine color porch, terracotta porch. Yeah, well, you can have whatever you want in the back. You can big body it up in the back, not in the front. So sorry. We have a couple of um what do you call these windows? We have a couple of window violations. Only a couple, thank goodness. I don't know how much it costs to replace a window, but somebody who has to replace a window can tell me. Um, we've got one on the end of the 1500 block of Forest Park, and we've got one on Langford, 1502, next to the Blue Porch. And we've reached out to them. So I'm still working on things. You can go with me to court if you don't believe me. Um, yeah, if anyone has some young, old, medium people who are interested in helping to paint some porches. People are gonna need porches painted. So, that is that. And I see, um, first, Officer Benz Clark. First, I don't know if you have anything to report, but I am going to want to put you in our newsletter, ma'am, officer, ma'am, in our next newsletter. This newsletter we have the new-ish principal of Edmondson Heights Elementary School, and we're just doing a these are the people in your neighborhood, and you are one of us. Um, but if you have anything for me, I'll listen.
Well, good evening, Jaquisa and everybody. So I looked at your calls for service and you guys didn't have any major calls, which is a good thing. Keep up the good work, Emerson Heights. So I wanted to
Mhm.
talk to you guys tonight about packages and deliveries and prevention of theft packaging. So I just wanted to remind you guys that if you are expecting packages to be delivered, and you know you're not going to be home, see if you have a trusted neighbor you can leave it with so you don't just leave it sitting out on your front. Or maybe if you have like a side entrance or something, just not so visible to the public walking by or going by to see your package. If you can have it delivered to a secured locker, Amazon locker, if your mailbox lock and it's small enough to put in there, that's an option. I know, but a lot of times people have deliveries and there's always somebody's package that went missing off their steps. It's good if you know you're going to have a lot of packages though, to make sure your doorbell camera, if you have one, and I hope that most people have them by now because it helps a lot. Um, Make sure you have that and you're actively looking for it, and leave your delivery person instructions on what to do with the package. Maybe if you have a tote or something, you can say, leave it under the tote or put it under the table. Just make it harder for people to see and not so visible to take this package. And again, if you have big packages coming, see if you can set the time where you know you're going to be home. But other
Yes.
than that, that's all I have for you guys.
Okay, that sounds good. I wanted to I put this in the newsletter, but these Ring cameras, they don't necessarily cost a lot. But also I think what a lot of people may not know is that the monitoring definitely doesn't cost a lot. Now, this isn't doing me any good sitting here on my desk, but I'm trying to work that out. Um, Monitoring for this monitoring is $3 a month or $30 a year. Monitoring for two, say you want one on the back, or monitoring for more than one is $10 a month or $120 a year. So it's not expensive. Um, I feel like I took this off. Oh, I changed my Wi-Fi. Changed my Wi-Fi, so I had to take this off and now just don't change your Wi-Fi. But yeah, I put it in the newsletter. They're not as expensive as we might think, and the monitoring is not expensive as we might think. They can be hardwired with electricity, to your electricity or to your Wi-Fi. Um, Not very hard at all. You get a lot of notifications every time the wind blows, but who doesn't like notifications? Um, I have, am I throwing this? Am I throwing this? I see we have some people. Hello, Delegate McCaskill. You got anything for us?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I haven't seen you all year, I think. So happy New
We've
Year.
been here. Happy
Uh,
New.
we've been working hard. I don't know what I missed since I haven't been on long. I just wanted to catch up with you all. I wanted to make sure that you all knew that you were awarded some funding for your bond initiative. Have you been made aware of the funding for your bond initiative?
No.
So for the Edmondson Heights playground, and I don't have my letter in front of me, so either
Okay, that's
Delegate
okay.
Ruth or Senator Sidney or
150,000.
Fatima, how much is it?
It's 150,000.
Yes, so congratulations to you all for that. Yay, you all. I know that it wasn't, I don't even know like what your request was, but the sun will come out tomorrow. There's always a new year.
Indeed.
Start in August, I would say. And so, yeah, so that's what's going on. We are, I know that there's a lot going on in the world. And so I don't know if anyone on here has any specific questions or concerns that they want to direct to any of us. But what I will say is this was a crazy session for us. I hope you all have received our newsletter, end of session newsletter. Jaquisa, I think Fatima may have sent it to you. Feel free to share for those who request. If we were in person, I would bring an interim letter with me. But nonetheless, we do have our scholarships that are still open to the end of the week, Fatima. Thumbs up. Okay, to the end of the week. My scholarship for my specific office is open until the end of the week. We are looking for high schoolers. Mostly we have had a lot of collegiate folks to apply. Of course, one of my biggest babies this session is reparations. We are waiting for the governor to sign it. With or without his signature, it will become law soon. And so we are moving forward into collecting bios of folks who may want to sit on the Reparations Commission. If you all know anyone who may be interested, please take a look at the bill. On page 2 and 3 has who the commission will consist of. You all can look and see maybe you are one of those folks or know someone who may be one of those folks. And we just asking for a simple bio at this point of who you are, what position it is, and why you think you should sit on the commission in that position. And so that is very, very exciting because this has been work that the state of Maryland has been moving forward and looking forward to doing for decades now. And so we just want to build on some of the work that has already been done. So I am excited about that. We went to 2 bill signings today. One is a pregnancy and parenting bill, and the other one is childcare. What I will say is over the interim, the Speaker of the House has appointed me to be a fellow and go into a fellowship where I will travel throughout the country this interim. My first stop is Albuquerque, New Mexico. Pray for me on this plane. However, I will be going around the country to see what other places are doing great when it comes to childcare, so that we can bring some good stuff back here and figure out how we can do it just as well as other places in the country. So I'll start it in June. I won't finish it until January. It's an all expense paid trip on the state. Thank you guys for allowing me to do such a thing. But it's just going to help us to figure out the childcare industry. And so I am excited about being selected as the single house rep for childcare for this fellowship. I'm excited about reparations. As you know, that we are in appropriations, which is the committee that I do sit on. We have ramped up the Attorney General's office for Anthony Brown to make sure that he has the resources that he needs when we go through everything that's happening with the administration in Washington, D.C. Anthony Brown is one of our fighting few states attorney generals who is helping us here in the United States with all the attacks from the administration. And so with appropriations, every time they came and said, hey, we made sure that the attorney general's office has what he needs to get us through, especially when it comes to, well, I shouldn't say especially, but one of the things that's happening every day, all day is immigrations. I was fortunate to be able to sit on a panel speaking about immigrations here in the state of Maryland. And so one of the main things I will say to everyone is know your rights. We can share with you all what your rights are or what folks' rights should be when they are, or if they are ever approached in their home or on the street. There is an organization that has a little red card that you can carry in your pocket. It's the size of an ATM card, just in case you forget. But we can make sure you connect you with that organization so they can send cards out as well to help protect our neighbors who should be protected. And so I don't know if you all have any other questions, but I'm going to close there. So congratulations again, though, on your bond initiative.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
for
You're welcome.
all of that. That was okay. Okay. It just sounded like a lot of money to a broke chick. Um, Sean, you got something or you just chilling with me? Okay. And there is, and I'm coming for you. I just don't see you anymore. Senator, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just getting back from another community association meeting. So apologize about my tardiness. Um,
Well,
but
sometimes you don't show up at all, so it's okay.
yep.
No, we know
Busy
that you
person.
are very busy. We
Yeah.
know that you're very busy. So thank you for however we can get you. What do you
Yeah.
have for us?
So in terms of this past session, and good evening, everyone. Um, uh, Alethea had already mentioned the bond bill that we got for Edmondson Heights. There were, I think I introduced about 16 bills this past session. Um, Three of them were successful in terms of Senate bills, but there are about three or four others that my cross-filed bill passed. One bill dealt with a modification to confidentiality of certain evidence that comes out of um, the confidential, which is it's called the Marriage Confidential Communications Bill. So how it works is if you're in an abusive relationship with your spouse, currently your spouse has a privilege and can prohibit you from sharing certain communications that you've made with them that would implicate them in that abuse. With the passage of this legislation, which was signed by the governor, uh, that will no longer be the case. Additionally, we had legislation uh, that, for those of you who goes to the Guinness facility down
Bermudas?
in southern, right, in the southwestern part of Baltimore County in Halthorpe, uh, they had looked to have some legislation passed to increase the cap that they had on the amount of beer uh, that they could local built beer that they could sell from 25 to 35%. Senator Delegate McCaskill, she had cross-filed that with me. Additionally, uh, we were running out of some money for the Maryland Housing Counseling Fund program, which is run by the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. So this is a program that was created back in 2008, and at a fee of about $300. that fee was increased to $450. And again, the funding that comes from that, uh, they're collected on foreclosure actions, and then that money is used by Maryland's nonprofit housing counseling agencies and legal services to help people who have gone through foreclosure. Um, in addition to that, we had a good bit of news about the Maryland Second Look Act, which was cross-filed with Delegate Cheryl Pasteur. With that legislation is legislation that gives people who've been incarcerated for a minimum of 20 years the ability to go before a judge and look for a sentence reduction. There are 11 factors that the judge would look at to determine whether or not the person would qualify for a sentence reduction. And the incarcerated individual would only have 3 opportunities before they're no longer able to use this particular law. Additionally, because of some of the setouts that have happened when tenants have held over and they've been evicted, we modified some of the notice laws around it because we've had people who have had their possessions set out and stolen and the like. So that was a bill that passed, as well as a bill dealing with installment plans or payment plans for those who receive tickets, toll-related transportation tickets. So if that happens to you uh, or any of you, now there will be payment plans that will be made available. Uh, some important things that I introduced that were not passed. One was a modification to the law to allow people who are testing to see whether or not fair housing laws are being violated. We introduced legislation to allow for them to record conversations to help to determine and to introduce as evidence of discrimination. Unfortunately, that bill got out of the Senate but didn't get out of the House uh, because of what had happened here in Baltimore County a few years ago during our last redistricting process. I introduced legislation that I called the Maryland Voting Rights Act of 2025. Again, we got the bill out of the Senate, but was unable to get it out of the, uh, the, the House. And there was another bill that was a local bill to Baltimore County dealing with the modifications that are coming with the growth of the county council. As you all know, our county council is no longer going to have 7 members; it's going to have 9 members. In the current state law, what it does is it states that uh, the it ties the school board directly to in proportion with the county council. The legislation that I had would have made certain that as the council grows to 9 seats, that we were going to still continue having 7 elected school board members of the school board and 4 appointed members of the school board. So it was going to take the 7 county council jurisdictions that we currently have. It was going to change those into election school districts. And every 10 years, when we have redistricting happening with all other elected positions here across the state, we would have had lines redrawn at that same time and determined by the General Assembly. Again, that bill, it got out of the Senate, but it unfortunately was unable to pass the Baltimore County House delegation. I will say that both of District 44B's representative voted in support of that legislation, which I'm grateful for. And I'm going to stop there. For those of you who do receive my news or don't receive my newsletter, additional information can be gleaned if you go to my website, Charles Sydnor, SYDNOR 3D.org, and you can download the newsletter. Or if you can't find it, you can feel free just to email me at charles.sydnor@senate.state.md.us. But thank you for your time.
before you go to mute, thank you first. You
Mhm.
have someone new-ish working with you. Um, I haven't heard from him much. That's what, is it Ian or
Ian Miller. Hmm.
Vex? Huh. He needs to he needs to say hi every now and then. Ian Miller. One question regarding the redistricting, and I think it's already been answered, but as far as representation, the only thing that would change with the redistricting is the council members.
You're talking about the current redistricting process that's happening at the county level.
Yes.
Uh, well, that process actually, there's a meeting. There, I think two meetings actually that are coming up. One on the 12th over in East Baltimore County, one on the 19th over here at the Randallstown Resource Center. What that is about is again with the decision by the voters uh, to increase the size of the county council. We have to modify the lines, and right now there's a big debate on what those lines will look like. The There's been a redistricting commission that's been created, and they've just recently put out their version of the map. There's also a plan out there called the Woodlawn Plan, and with the Woodlawn Plan,
I think he got hung up.
Okay.
and then there's a third.
We didn't hear anything past the Woodlawn plan.
Okay, you didn't hear me?
No, you froze.
Okay, so there's the Woodlawn Plan, and their proponents, I believe what it does is they said it would guarantee two supermajority black districts, with the hope of electing at least two black officials for the county council. But then there's a third plan that's out there that I support, which is called the 3-1-5 plan. And the 3-1-5 plan is a plan that will create three majority black districts. And those districts would not be super majority districts with 60 plus or 70 plus percentage of black people, but you're talking about districts that look somewhat more similar to how 44B has looked, which is on average about 54, 53% black. One district that is majority minority on the county's northeast side, and 5 white majority districts. I'm supportive of that plan because I think that plan of all that have been out there more closely reflects the demographic population of Baltimore County, which is about just I think 50 some percent non-white. So they're taking comments from citizens. So I would say, I mean, you can go into the Baltimore County's government's website. You can get some additional information, and they're certainly looking for comments. But that's really what's being discussed at the county level in terms of redistricting.
Okay. I will send out an email to everyone with the link to, or it's already in here, I think, to the meetings. I think, oh, there's a virtual meeting coming up. I think it's tomorrow. Delegate Ruth put in there for us. Virtual works for me because I don't have to put on shoes.
Right.
Um,
I think that's not,
Jaquista, that
yes.
link, when I just tried to click on it, it came up as me not being able to get into it.
That
So you may want to check it
is
before you get off, before we end the meeting in a few minutes.
It looks
It was
like
good for me.
Miss Whitmore just placed another link, so I would try that one. Thank.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that
it was good for
works.
me.
But
Okay,
if I
thank
might
you.
say whatever happens, it's gonna impact this county largely. So again, take a look. Don't just look at how the shapes and things of the math, but look at the numbers and what those shapes represent. Thank you.
Because the
Okay,
bottom line is, Jaquista, um, folks just need to keep in mind with this process, you may be in another district and you'll have a different representative. And right now, we don't know who is running for what next session, when next election. So, um, if we don't get caught up into litigation with these maps that's being drawn and offered, which we probably will with a few, it will probably come close to the time of filing deadline for folks who may want to run. As far as what council seat, what council matic district you're in. So pay close attention, get involved, and encourage folks to get involved with this process.
okay, will do. Thank you. Um, as far as we are getting ready to wrap it up because I said we were gonna stay on time. And we did notice how we are keeping these shorter and being respectful of everyone's time, including my own. Um, everything on my agenda is, yeah, we've hit everything. That invoices are still coming out. Invoices for dues and spring newsletters are currently going out. Some of them have already been out. We have a new portion of in the newsletter called "Oh Neighbor," which is meant to be a kind of satiric view on different things that I hear, complaints that I get. Um, a couple people liked it, but it's just kind of from the point of view of the entire neighborhood on different topics. This topic was people with multiple vehicles, and some of them they don't drive, and people having to park around the corner just to because you have 5 cars. Just it's that satirical, um, wink, wink, nudge. But yes, it's something that I get uh, emails and messages about quite often. Outside of that, I did tell you guys that we have,
Krista.
uh, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hi.
Delegate Ruth.
Hi, sorry. So you had asked me about redistricting when I first got on, but I would it be okay if I just give a brief mention of
Sure.
the session, the legislative session. So I just wanted to say one of the big issues that we dealt with this session was energy. And I know there has been a lot of concern about BGE bills being so high, and concerns about
Mhm.
the electric grid. And so we passed a big package of bills to deal with that, to provide short, medium, and long-term solutions that will help with protecting ratepayers and bringing those bills down, as well as protecting the reliability of the grid while we still transition to clean energy to protect our environment as well. And I won't go into all the details of that. It's gonna take some time before we see the results of that. But there will be uh, a credit on your BGE bill twice in the next year, one in the summer peak and one in the fall peak, to help deal with those bills while these provisions that we passed in this package slowly work to, get things under control. And so if you want to see the details of everything we passed, it's in my end of session letter, which is, I just put a link in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. That sounds good. A credit. I do know that that's a good thing. So yeah, thank you for advocating on our behalf for that. We won't be able to afford air very soon. Um,
It's bad.
outside of this.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's mine too.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else? They have any questions? Yes, Miss Bronzella. Hello there. Yeah, you're on mute.
Hello. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Good evening, everyone. Lucretia, you asked for a handyman, a licensed handyman.
Yes,
He has
ma'am.
to be licensed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we have yeah, we want them to be responsible for what they do. Yeah.
Okay. If I know someone, give him your number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Give him my number.
Okay. Next thing is, will I be getting any newsletters to do?
Yes, ma'am. If I get back to them today, yes, ma'am. Indeed.
Okay. That's
Okay,
all.
I'll get them to you. I'll call you
Okay.
tomorrow. All
Okay.
right.
I'll be home
Thank
all day
you.
tomorrow. Good enough.
That'll
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you. And also thank you to you and Nancy for helping out with these. Yeah, these I have to make them do all this. Okay, anyway, thank you.
Okay.
If no one has anything else, y'all can get on and do something. I mean, you all can have a lovely evening and enjoy the rest of it's time for some of us to go to bed. So let's go to bed, everybody. Not together if you want to, but yes. So good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good
night.
night.
Good
Have a good
Okay.
one.
Bye.
You
Good night.
too.
Stop recording.
Yes.